Hey everyone, appreciate all you guys being here at the USA Crypto Group. Today we have a project called Speakeasy for this AMA session. Like always, this AMA is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice and there's no commitment to the team. With that, I'd like to welcome Barrett and James to USA Crypto Group. If you guys can start out introducing yourself, talk about your team and your experience in the crypto space.
Yeah, sure. James, you want to take this?
Sure. Well, Barrett and I met with Another Coin, and we've been doing this, together for a couple years, and just going back and forth. And we were like, man, how can we make this community or this space so much better? And we just got together and came up with this idea, and then Barrett got hooked up with a couple amazing devs, and they put it all together for us. I mean, it took a little bit longer than anticipated, and yeah.
Yeah, it definitely took quite a while just to put everything together. But, the gist of it is we're a Web3 sports betting token and have some really cool tokenomics and built-in jackpots and some other fun things that we're going to be doing. But the core is, we're a sports betting token.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Barrett and James. You have any other team members that you want to speak on? I know you guys have a massive team. How many people are in your team?
It's like, over 20. Most of it, some people are advisors, some people are mods. But it seems like everybody, throughout this last year, and obviously before that, but while we haven't been launched and everything, everyone's been super active in the team chat. And so everyone seems to play a little different role. But yeah, I think there's too many names to give shout outs to, except Daniel, Telegram, Dan 25555 for making our website and white paper and all of our graphics and, kind of being the brand designer. And he's just amazing. And his sticker pack is insane. I don't know. He deserves more credit.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're lagging, or I am.
I got kicked out for a second there. I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh, dear.
Awesome.
Too many people are excited.
That's probably it. Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, shout out to you. The website is amazing. It's actually very well put together. So it looks like you did a great job on that. Yeah, so let's talk about the name Speak. Is it Speakeasy? There's a story behind it, isn't it? Can you speak on that a bit there, Barrett?
Well, sure. So speakeasies are, initially, during Prohibition in America. It's good, talking to in the USA Crypto Group, because this is our story, that, there was Prohibition. You couldn't sell alcohol. And so people would meet at speakeasies, were like underground hidden clubs. And they would, drink alcohol and they would gamble, just kind of have a party. And so, that's the whole idea kind of behind our token. It's like, we're not a casino, you're not coming and playing against the house. We're not just a sports betting token because we have our jackpots and we're going to have other mini games. It's just, we kind of want to have like a party atmosphere, but it's also kind of hush hush because, it's on the fringe because, it's sports betting. It's mostly unregulated because we don't have any fees involved, but it's also like not like we want to just go call up every, prosecutor and let them know what we're doing. So that's why we have the logo. And yeah.
Awesome, brother. I love it. We actually had like a little happy hour here at USA Crypto Group at one point as well. And, if you guys want to build that, that environment over there, like you say, back in the 1920s, right? It's called Speakeasy. It was a exclusive nightclub where people come gather and enjoy alcohol and gamble. Hey, maybe we can do that over there with you guys as well, or vice versa.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely want to, later down the road, we want to introduce it's not like other tokens haven't done it, but they haven't really made it work where they have, bigger community, and then, they're taking fees, but we want to have a 0 fee Texas Hold'em table software. So we've already kind of got figured out the licensing deals and stuff, but then you would use your SPEEZY tokens to just another fun thing that we can do with the SPEEZY tokens, but that wouldn't necessarily be anything special or technology. It's just that's on our roadmap because, one more thing, we could be playing poker while we're betting on sports and just, to complete the vibe.
Right. And I think, I have that sense with you guys where you guys figured out a way how to get around the regulation, but at the same time, make it very simple, straightforward, and easy, right? Things that, so I think that's actually a very, very important, when it comes to business. To me, simplicity is the most sophistication, right? So I think, I think it has to be simple. It has to be easy for the investor to get it, for the people to get it. And I feel like as I'm going through your website, I get that about you guys. So that's pretty cool to see.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, part of, to me, whenever I look at any other online sports betting website, they're really complicated and they mention this many X and this and that. And, there's money lines and all sorts of, it just seems like a whole lot of interesting stuff where it's difficult to calculate the payout. And we just tried to make ours a lot simpler just to go for the layman. But then also, as far as development and whatnot goes, I mean, ours is pretty simple concept, so if it's easier to make, then it's probably easier to use, but it still gets the same thing across. If I said hey, I got $100 on the Rams, and you're like, I got $100 on, the Steelers, if they even play each other. But if they do play each other, did or could, then yeah, James can comment on that.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Simplicity is the key to me, with everything in business. I'm trying to practice that actually. So that's awesome that you guys are trying to do the same thing. All right. Would you like to start with the basic stuff like the KYC audit, or you want to leave that last, like tokenomics, etc.? You want to get into the beefy stuff right now, Barrett?
Yeah, if that's wherever you want to go first, we will go.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about, you have a bunch of utilities, man. You have, it's, by the way, it's actually kind of nice to see a project that's actually different than what we've been getting, getting a lot of, right? We have not seen a sport betting or even like a casino betting type of project come in lately, actually for a long time. So it's actually kind of nice seeing you guys here with us, having this type of concept. All right, let's get into the right now. How many utilities or how many type of bettings do you have on the platform currently?
Well, currently we have the betting DApp for sports betting, so we can actually bet on any outcome of other things too. But for example, it could be sports, it could be esports. We could be betting on coin flips, politics. Whether or not a certain token is going to perform well, if something is going to rug, just whatever fun things we want to bet on. When you buy the token, you're automatically entered into jackpots. That's sort of part of the tokenomics, but it's powered by separate contracts and a DApp that you can view your percentage and your chance of winning. And then you can watch the spin happen and it'll automatically, pick a winner based on who has the, it's random, right? But I mean, if you have more tickets in the lottery, you have more chances of winning. So the more that you buy during the day or the week, you have better chances of winning the daily and weekly jackpot. But you don't have to do anything really to play that. So the one thing that you can go on and actually do and engage is the sports betting. But then we are adding our DGen spin wheel where you're allowed to, basically it does the same thing as when you buy the token and you get entered in the jackpots, but you'll be able to just put your SPEEZY tokens in and whoever puts the most SPEEZY tokens in will have a higher chance of winning, but also more to lose if the guy with one token in there wins. So that will be coming shortly. We currently have it working with B&B, but it goes. We don't want to be open for any liabilities and be treated as a casino. So if we do the B&B one, then we have to take money for gas, and even if it's just for gas, it still would be seen as we're taking something from it, and then, put us under different regulations. So we're just want to get launched, and then we're going to switch that over to SPEEZY. So that would still probably be under the Jackpot category, but that would be something that you could engage in. And we have a Telegram bot, so it'll be like, James Dean just put in 5,000 SPEEZY, and Barrett just put in 10,000 SPEEZY, and it'll show it in the bot, and it'll be like, the spin's going to happen in 5 minutes, and then at the last minute, someone like Devin's going to come in and put 50,000 SPEEZY, and you'll try to win the pot by having a higher percentage at the last second, and then hopefully he loses and I win.
That sounds pretty cool. Now, the initial money for that pool, where would that be coming from?
Well, on the ones where you're playing with SPEEZY tokens and you're putting them in, then the jackpot is just the combination of everybody's entry. So whoever puts the most in would win. So it would kind of look like this. So on the left here, there's how many people bet, their wallet address, and how many credits they have. So the credit price, for example, would be 0.01 BNB. So when it's converted to SPEEZY, it'll be how much SPEEZY, it might be 1,000 SPEEZY or 2,000 SPEEZY would be the minimum bet. And then as they put it in, then this pot total would grow with more SPEEZY, and it'd have the BNB value. But in the daily and the weekly games, the money comes from the taxes.
Okay. All right. So just to recap, earlier you said that if you buy into the token SPEEZY, you would automatically be entered into the super and the mega spin jackpot, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What is the limit on the purchase on that to be entered? Or is there a limit on that?
It'll be 0.01 BNB. So for if you bought 0.2 BNB,
that's the minimum, but there's no maximum, right?
Yeah, there's no maximum. No, I mean as much as you wanted to buy. And then your credits go away after the daily game. If you didn't win the daily, you still have credits in the weekly. So basically, every time you buy, it enters you into 2 different jackpots. So.
Yeah. So there's a daily one and there's a weekly one. Actually, that's pretty cool because the daily one, it keeps people engaged, right? And so I'm assuming that the weekly one is actually bigger payout. Is that what the thinking, the thought process behind it is?
Yeah, to be fair, there's an interesting caveat to the daily. It starts off where I'm echoing. Okay, no. So we have our mascot is Spinny, like our little wheel character. And he actually, on day 1, he starts off with a 95% chance of winning. And so if he wins, the daily pot gets transferred over to the next day pot and the next day. So that's why that one is the mega spin. So the mega spin actually, someone could win it on the first day, but that one could brew over 5% a day. It might take 20 days for somebody to win it. It'll be guaranteed that somebody wins it in 20 days. So the mega spin actually could be bigger, but it still gives daily engagement, but it just guarantees a pretty healthy pot, and still just as much fun because you still have that chance of winning, and maybe it pushes the buy pressure down the row, maybe because in 10 days, he'll only have a 50% chance of winning. So most likely, or, 50% chance a real person is going to win. But so it's just an interesting concept of how we can keep the fun going, and then people can find strategic entry points.
I see. And what's actually really interesting about this is that there's no fees at all. No fee, 0.
Yeah, and
except for the gas.
The gas, yeah. But you don't pay any extra gas to play this, and it automatically deposits the SPEEZY tokens if you win. So there's no gas for the users when they're entering the jackpots because we're just looking at Pancake Swap, and when you buy tokens, we look at how many BNB you bought. So if you bought 1 BNB, you would have 100 credits.
Awesome.
And it would show up over here on the left, like your wallet, and you would have 100 credits. And then each person has a different color that would be associated with this. And so when there's hundreds of people here, it ends up looking really cool. It'd be a really cool faded, circle pie.
I mean, the graphic is actually did a good job on the website for sure. Now, regarding the jackpot, the spin jackpot, what % from the tax is dedicated to that jackpot from each transaction?
Good question. So when you buy, 1.5% goes to the mega spin and 1.5% goes to the super spin. And this is where all the money just goes straight to the spins. So in the beginning, when we're pumping, you're not going to see the chart selling for marketing. It's not going to be converting anything into BNB. It's just sending tokens, a portion of everything, over to the jackpots. So we don't have to worry about the pump is happening and now the chart's sold. And so then it dips back down and then it keeps going up. So we thought that was really cool that we don't take any marketing or any other kind of taxes there. It's literally just for the spin. So, and then when you sell, 6% goes to marketing because we really want to be able to advertise a lot, because advertising plateaus on other tokens because you can only talk to so many influencers and, get so many people to come buy into, I don't want to call it a Ponzi scheme, but at one point tokens can be. So we want to market and say, hey, come bet on this game. Hey, it's the Padres versus the Pirates and, this Major League Baseball playoff game. You should come and bet on this, because you like crypto and you like one of these teams. So just getting a lot more users with real world marketing. Then 2% goes to the development. And so 2% is basically, that's how we make money. Because I didn't give myself any tokens, and I'm probably going to buy some on the pre-sale, but just to support it. But I'm really not good at selling. It doesn't make sense for me to scale off and, what if I sell all my tokens? Then what's my interest in the project anymore? So this is the sustainability, to keep running it and to pay the admins and stuff for posting the games and just keeping the community growing. And then another 1.5% goes to the mega spin. Another 1.5 goes to the super spin. And then, 2% added to liquidity, smart to kind of keep liquidity, healthy. Some people don't add anything to liquidity. Some people add a lot, but 2% is a reasonable number. And so this is if you sell one, you get one sell every 24 hours that you can sell up to one BNB. If you can't sell more on your first sell, you can only sell one BNB or less. And then you get it at 13% tax. But if you want to sell more, you can do on a second transaction, you can sell more. And then we're going to hit you with an extra 10% tax, which is going to send an extra 6% to marketing. It's not going to send any more to us. We're not trying to make, it's not about us making more money. It's for the token. You've sold more than a BNB in a day, means you're kind of dumping, because if you just sold a BNB every day, let's say you have a good bag, then you're going to keep the chart stable. You're not going to cause a panic sale, and most likely the chart will keep going up. So in 10 days, your bag is even healthier than it was then. But if you cause a dump, then, as it causes newer investors and people to panic. And then that just kind of causes issues. So taking that for marketing so we can, do more marketing. And then we're going to send 2.5% of that to Mega Spin and 2.5% of that to Super Spin. And then, since you're dumping, we're going to send a little bit more to liquidity. So that makes up that extra 10%. I would call it a penalty, but I would also say you're incentivized, by getting the lower tax rate just to sell one BNB a day. And that keeps us at, it would average out to 8% buy, 8% sell. So not the highest taxes, but not the lowest taxes, but, you definitely need to have taxes to support and grow the token, and that's everybody's goal is, how many X's can we get,
Right. And I did see James answer one of the questions that was asked in the room earlier, where he said it's also because, let's say if a person wins, let's say a jackpot, a mega jackpot, and if he cashed out, let's say 40 BNBs right off bat immediately, and that would definitely tank the chart, right? So I think with this structure in place, first, I think they're gonna have to think twice, right, before selling that 40 BNB, right?
Yeah. And if everybody's thinking twice, then the chart looks twice as healthy as anyone else's chart. And then people won't feel like, I think people will play ball, or they'll pay the price because, it sucks if, there's just, when people put like a 30% sale tax or some huge sale tax on for everything, but we're still letting you sell a B&B. And we let and one thing I hate is when 0% buy tax, and then they make a really high sell tax. But when you bought, there was a buy tax. So then you pay the regular buy tax. And then, when it gets to the top of the chart, then they take off buy tax. And you're like, well, I already bought and paid tax, and now they doubled the sell tax. So we're never going to change these taxes. There's a chance in the future that we would lower them, but we won't ever shift it around. It'll always be 3% buy and then some number, for the sell, So if anything, we would do, over time, lower it, after we get over the first, couple weeks.
Right. The 20-30% there, Barrett, is that the max you guys have it? Or what is the max on tax that you guys have coded into your contract?
23.
Okay, so it is the max. Okay. All right. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so everything in our contract has maximums and a lot of really great security. So, that's why we got a 90% security score. I bet if Certic audited it, we'd get a higher score because it is literally like rug proof, because I've spent so much time in every last little piece of it, even if it's I know I'm not going to rug it. I just want investors to feel safe knowing that I couldn't if I wanted to.
So if you won that, let's say you bet on that UFC underdog that was, 100 to 1 or whatever, and you put in your money, and you did win. You put in, I don't know, $50, $100 or whatever, and oh my gosh, now you have 40 B&B, and you feel that you can cash out and take that 23%. Yeah, then go ahead. By all means. It's all good.
Because we can use that money to pay for more holders that aren't going to do that. So, but yeah, I feel like most people will just want to keep building up their bags and winning, and then, have a good reserve for more betting. But then, they just stick to that selling a B&B a day. And let's say our market cap goes up to 20 million, right? We might make it 2 B&B a day. There'll be, when it looks like less of an impact, because that could have maybe been sent by the most you could sell is this percentage of the token. But then it's too hard for people to calculate that on the fly. So we wanted to go with the B&B number, but that's completely adjustable in the contract.
Now, I just want to clarify one thing back into your 0.01 B&B buy to get the tokens, which gives you a free entrance into the mega and the super jackpot. Now, let's say, is that forever there, Barrett? Forever? Or is there a limit on that?
Oh, no. See, I think we were talking about flash staking, how there would be a limited number of flash staking sessions. Maybe but yeah, the jackpots will just be running forever. Yeah.
Wow. So if I hold some tokens, pretty much enter into the drawing.
I understand what you're saying. No, you hold tokens and then, as soon as the daily spin is over, you don't have any credits. And as soon as the weekly is over, you don't have any credits in the weekly. So as soon as that game ends, it restarts with a new game.
I see, but then I have to buy new tokens in order to participate in the next one? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an endless buy-in contest, right? So, let's say that nobody's won that mega spin in a while, right? And now, there's low buy pressure on this day. And I see, oh my God, okay, there's 3 B&B worth of SPEEZY in the pot, because obviously it's going to pump a lot from launch, and you're going to have a lot of SPEEZY in that pot. I'm probably going to go buy 0.1 or 0.2, and maybe what if that gives me 10% chance of winning, And then I think other people will FOMO in and say, hey, look, I don't want this guy to win, so I'll have to buy some more. So it's a game to cause buy pressure, but not, it's not being manipulative. It's like if you calculate your odds and you look at your potential return on investment, these are how people make money. It's kind of like poker. If I'm holding these cards and these cards are on the table, and this guy bets this amount, I should know, okay, well, I have this much chance of getting the next card I need, or I have this much percentage of winning, and so I'm only investing this much money. So if I did this every time this situation happened, I would turn a profit in the long run. So I just imagine that people will be, some people will be degen and just buy just to get into jackpots. They'll just buy it. Maybe they don't even know there's a jackpot and they're just buying to, bet with it. But I think there's people that will be able to use strategy to decide when to buy or to top up.
Definitely. I think there's some strategies involved here. Now, the 0.01 BNB to get the entrance into that the mega spin and the super spin, is that something that will be adjusted accordingly, or is that something that you guys have? It's going to be fixed forever?
Well, that could be adjusted, but there wouldn't really be a good reason to change that because as soon as we optimize the gas and everything, it really doesn't cost us much, depending on how many credits people have. So, even if it wouldn't, if we made it 0.05 BNB, then it would just say, hey, all the guys who bought 0.01 BNB, they can't even get a credit. But if you buy 0.05, you get 5 credits. So it's just trying to level the playing field and let sometimes the smaller buyers that, for whatever reason, if they want to just buy I guess when BNB was like $600, I mean, it could go up there again. And so, I don't really see people buying $2.70 worth of the token because of gas prices. But, if they did, maybe they bought 0.06 instead of 0.05, it's better just to give them that extra credit because it doesn't really matter to us.
Now, 0.01, I think that's actually very low. It's very low to get in. It's actually really cheap to get in.
Yeah, so it's nice just to get a ticket. I mean, yeah.
Awesome. All right, perfect. All right, and just to clarify, so that 1.5% of the tax goes into that super and the mega spin jackpot, right?
1.5 into each, yeah, on the buy. And then 1.5 goes to the mega and 1.5 on the sell as well. But on the oversell or the dump tax, then it gets 2.5 on that each, So we fund each game equally. And then, just because, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, from my assessment on it, it's great for you guys to come in early, right? You get that volume right off bat and you get entered into that daily and the weekly in the beginning. I think that's where the money is going to be at, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And one thing that's actually pretty cool too is, so to be fair, 1.5% goes into the jackpot, but it goes into a jackpot pool. And so I should really clarify this. 33% of it goes into the current jackpot, and then 66% of it goes into the reserve. And so when somebody wins, the new game starts off with 50% of the reserve. So if the first jackpot, the first weekly is like 10 BNB, that means that the next one will start with 10 BNB, and the next one will start with 10 BNB or more. So we're spreading it out over multiple jackpots. So then it's not like, oh my God, there was a 10 BNB jackpot and then, or a 30 BNB jackpot in the beginning, and then the next jackpot is only like 10 BNB. We don't want the first week one just to be kind of crazy. We want it to feel kind of smooth and consistent, if that makes sense, because we already know that we buy pressure in the first week. We need to maintain that pressure for the weeks to come.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you guys thought it out, because a guy like me who, I analyze everything, and that's what I said. What I said is, the first week coming in without that system in place would be a perfect time to come in, right? And trying to get the big jackpot. But I think that's a smarter way to go about it, because now you level out is the jackpots be more consistent, and I think that will attract more investors in the long run. But that makes sense.
Yeah, so we call it like our perpetual jackpot system. It was just like, man, it really, you just don't want to give it all away on day one,
Awesome.
Just to kind of switch gears a little bit, there was a very good question brought up in the chat, and he was concerned about, hey man, well, if I put $50 in, how do I know it's going to be equal betting? So the way that it's set up, if you're $50 or $100 or $1,000, whatever, if it's not matched by other peers,
then is he talking about spin jackpots or sports betting?
No, he's talking about sports betting. Then you're able to remove whatever is not matched. So if I put in like $100 and there's only $20 on the other side, well, then I can remove that $80. Like, you're not on the hook for every dime that you put in. Everything has to be matched.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into that for the rest of people to catch up on how that system works. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah. So with that, I think let's get into that, because I think we cover the jackpots, or the mega and the super jackpot pretty in depth already. Correct? We can get into the parlay. You guys call it the parlay, right?
Yeah, that's like the name. I know. Yeah, there's types of bets that are parlays. We don't actually have parlay betting at this point. But it's definitely going to have to live up to our name and introduce that in the future. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's actually very interesting now. You guys been saying sport betting, but from what I can see, reading on it, you can do pretty much anything on there. Correct?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much anything that there's two sides, two outcome. Like, if someone can win or lose, you could bet on anything. We can't have like NASCAR or something because there's more than two.
Sorry. Yeah, can we go in depth on that, Barrett? Let's go in depth on the parlay or your system, how the betting works.
Sure. So basically what happens is you'll view the website and you'll see a list of games that are active that you can bet on. We'll have a list of games that are currently live or waiting for the result to be input, and then you'll be able to see the past games. So, for example, in this game, this would be a final game, and it would be Warriors versus Celtics, and there was 7 bets on each side. So there was a total of 14 bets and 0.14275 B&B worth of SPEEZY in the pot. And in sports betting that they're spread. So that's the only thing this number, negative 3.5 means, and 3.5 means over here. It just means that the Celtics are you take off 3.5 points of their score because they have to win. And then you look at the final score because they're a better team. So they have to win by 3.5 points. And that's how we deal with, and the betting industry deals with, one team being a little bit better than another, because either way, each bet, when it says 7 bets, each bet is going to be based off of 0.05 B&B worth of SPEEZY. So let's say that's 5,000 SPEEZY. So let's pretend I'm betting on the Warriors, and let's say I put in all 7 of those bets. I would bet 35,000 SPEEZY, and it would call that 7 bets. And now let's say you go in and bet on the Celtics, but you only bet 5,000. So now there would be 7 bets versus 1 bet. And you're like, well, dude, you put in 35,000 SPEEZY and I only put in 5,000. Correct. You can only win 5,000 of my SPEEZY, and I will get the other 30,000 refunded to me. And I could ask for a refund instantly. I can, as soon as there's equal matching bets, then I can't take anything back. But as long as I have outstanding bets that haven't been matched up with someone on the other team, I can withdraw those. So I can withdraw them instantly, during the game, after the game. And if I won, then I can withdraw them at the same time as I withdraw my winnings. So, for example, my 35,000 SPEEZY could match up with 7 different people that put in 5,000, or it could match up with, one guy that put in 35,000 as well. It doesn't really tell you which wallet you're matched up against. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just that when we say it's peer-to-peer, I'm not putting up money as the house. Like SPEEZY isn't, you're not betting against SPEEZY. You're betting against another person. So we really don't care who wins, We just want to make sure that we enter the ending score correctly, and then you guys can go and withdraw your winnings or any extra that you bet that wasn't matched. And if you lost, then it'll say, I'm sorry, you lost, and you won't be able to withdraw any money. And so the withdrawals will always be there forever. You'll be able to go find the past game, and you'll be able to withdraw it. In the future, we'll add like a little user management thing to see what games I'm in and withdraw all of my outstanding or withdraw all of my winnings at once. We'll add some more clever, fancy features like that. But once we had like I would call it the minimum viable product we wanted to get going. So, and it's pretty simple, like, just the how to bet, connect your wallet. The first thing you have to do on a new wallet is approve your SPEEZY tokens. So there'll be a big red button that says approve. You'll approve them. Then you'll click which team you want to bet on. You'll select how many tokens you want to bet, and it'll be increments of the minimum bet, which when we create each game, it's set to 0.05 BNB. So the minimum bet for each game will be determined by the price of BNB, the price of SPEEZY tokens compared to BNB when we create the game. And then basically you've placed your bet and you wait, then at the end you would just withdraw your winnings or any of your unconfirmed bets, which are just the bets that didn't match with anyone. And if there is a draw or like in soccer, like sometimes there'll be a draw. Usually we try to have a spread where one team has to win by a little bit more than the other team. So in the case of a draw, it would go to the underdog. But if it's a dead even match and there's a draw, then both teams, bettors will be able to withdraw their funds. So, since right now, if I go to the betting DApp, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'll be able to connect my wallet. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Awesome, MetaMask. Can you guys see this?
You can see a wallet connect there, brother. I don't see it connected yet.
No. It's not showing you the MetaMask pop-up, which is saying connecting to BSC, and it's like lagging out, and it's telling me to try again. So that makes me always nervous. Good thing I have things backed up, right? But okay, so there it goes. So you see, okay, I've connected my wallet, and as the admin, also I have two other admins. One's James Dean and one is Hank, and they both have. I basically, in Remix, I'm able to enable them to use to when they connect wallet, they'll see create game. You guys won't. You'll just see the list of games to bet on. And we'll be entering the games on launch day, for that NFL Sunday. And, we'll figure out what games are things to bet on through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm sure there's basketball and baseball. But, basically we just enter the names, enter the pictures for the teams and when it ends. And the required spread, that we just get from popular betting websites. And then if it's a percentage-based game, there's no spread, then we just are able to put in 50% and 50%, and then each of the bets will be equal. Or, we put in 75% chance of winning for the first team. That means that for every 75 cents that they bet, the other team will only bet 25 cents. So it works out pretty well for percentage-based things. If you bet on the overdog, you're going to get less of a return. If you bet on a like horse racing, if you bet on a, $10 on a horse that has a 1 in 100 chance of winning, then you typically get, you bet $5 instead of winning $5, you're going to win $500. So the system's really well set up. So just to make that really easy. And then if I just show you the, so everything's got it. So the spin has its own brand, obviously. And then parlay has its own brand, trying to be better for marketing in the future that way. And then let's see okay. Just, I guess, real quick, I'll just show you guys. So basically we, create a game and then the new game would show up and then you'd be looking at it. You guys would connect your wallet. And then, like I said, you would come down here, approve the token. you would put in how much you wanted to bet, in the increments of the minimum bet, and it'll tell you your SPEEZY balance and what your current bet is. And then when you are ready to bet, you will do it, and you'll end up doing a MetaMask or Trust Wallet transaction, which will confirm and send over your money. And then, then you'll see how much other people are betting. You'll see the total so it's like 0.07 BNB versus 0.06 BNB. And then we'll enter the end of the game. We'll put in the final score. And then you'll be able to come over here and click withdraw winning amount. Your MetaMask will pop up, and you'll happily just take out your winnings. And it's pretty easy peasy. If you didn't win, you can still take out that money that you bet that was over the top. And so in this case, there's you can see that there's 0 unconfirmed on both bets because this person just withdrew their money. And so there's just these 2 6 bets and 0.06 worth of BNB in each pot. And, that's about it on the how it works. But I mean, I guess, what do you guys have any things that I missed, or you want to say anything, James?
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm in the chat answering a whole bunch of questions.
No worries.
I think you pretty much covered everything. Maybe if we want to open it up to the group, and they can ask us some questions. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I do want to ask the questions regarding that the system that you have going on there. Now, you guys mentioned sports a lot, but I know that you can create pretty much any type of betting opportunities on that platform, correct? So let's say, within your community, right, a bunch of people want to predict, next week when BTC is going to be at, and you are able to create that and have people bet.
Yeah, so we can say on Monday at 5 p.m. UTC, will Bitcoin be above 4 or 25,000 or below 25,000? And then, then we would take bets, and then, then on Monday at 5 p.m. UTC, we would just go put, we would say which team or which side won. And, if it was under, then we would, give it a score of 1. And then if it was, the other, the over side, we would give it a score of 0, and then it would show up as, the bet was 1, basically.
That's really cool, man, because I see opportunities in that, right? I think if you get creative and you can actually get the community be involved and engaged, and I'm assuming that a lot of people who are going to be invested in the platform or in the token, they're going to be gamblers, like myself. I like to bet on sports, and I like to take risk a bit. So I think it'll be a little fun things to do, here and there, just bet on random things, right? There's a big UFC coming up on this Saturday. You guys will not have the live yet, but that'd be a good bet to do.
Yeah, we are definitely looking forward to UFC for sure. And like I told you yesterday, I mean, it's interesting because everything on UFC is very confusing. There's like weird money lines and, but we're able to take that and just determine like, okay, this boxer, let's say they're fighting like Logan Paul or something. And like he has like Logan Paul has like a 25% chance of winning and this boxer has a 75% chance of winning. Then you would bet a lot less per bet on Logan Paul. Like your minimum bet would be a lot lower than the minimum bet for the person betting on like the good person. Because now if Logan Paul wins, then you're going to get that much bigger return on your investment. But then again, he was less likely to win. So, and we can do that for, and one thing that's cool, like, that we'll have bet on Sunday when we are live, like whatever football game is at like 6 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to do, we'll have betting for that game, but we're also going to bet on the coin flip, like who does the kickoff, right? So, it'll be just a purely just degen, like I'm betting on heads, I'm betting on tails, so I imagine everyone's going to come through and, put in, $10, $20 and just for fun,
Yeah, definitely. And I love that. I love the simplicity of it, right? Because a lot of, like you said in the UFC, a lot of, there's too many things going on, right? A not well experienced bettor would just get lost in the space and they don't even know what to do. So yeah, simplifying that the way you said, this makes it a lot easier for people to understand and just take part and just start learning about betting. Really cool, man. All right.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to speak on.
Wait, I was going to say, can I do something crazy real quick?
Yeah, let's do it, brother.
I'm going to give 7 minutes for people to join our Telegram group. And out of the next, in those 7 minutes, I'm going to pick one of those random people who joined and give them $50 of SPEEZY tokens on launch day.
So Barrett, we actually do that towards the end of the AMA. So that would
this is just they have to join the Telegram group to win?
Yeah. If that's what you want us to do, we do that with every single projects that we do AMA with.
I was going to add an extra $50 to it just to get it. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Well,
$50 of SPEEZY tokens out of our side, but yeah.
Let's do it.
Just to get things interesting while we're talking, just to see if people are listening here. So I didn't want to distract too much. I'm sorry. I was just trying to wake people up, and I like the competition, it's like just it's a SPEEZY-like thing to do to get people.
You want to open it up to the floor real quick and see if anyone here has any questions for us?
If we're ready for that, I think,
you want them to bring in
Seattle Crypto was going to say something else here.
Let me go ahead and pin that. That's your Telegram room really quick. Can you guys drop that link so I can pin it?
Yeah.
One thing I will say real quick, hop on here, James, man. I tip my hat to you, brother. You have answered literally every single question that's come through on text, man. Good job, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I just want to increase the hype, man. We've been working on this project for forever. So the whole team. We're just so excited, and we just want to spread the word. This could make multi-millionaires of everyone in this voice chat, and all you have to do is, buy on the gym pad, pre-sale, and then just place your bets. And us as a community will grow. We always listen to the community. Like we talked about earlier, if you guys want a particular, bet or, any situation, to happen, we're all for it. We are a community-driven token, 100%. So, the community is first. We always take care of our family,
100%, brother. 100%.
There's the timer to join.
All right, guys. So join the Telegram and say USA Crypto Group send ya. Okay, and it looks like Barry and James, you guys, they're gonna give out some free tokens, and I guess they want you guys to do it now. So let's do it.
Well, that's just in the meantime while we're talking, just keep people engaged. So anyway, okay. So what was our next point of business here? I feel bad now that I interrupted already.
Fine,
I was just trying to wake people up, and it's part of the game,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, we just roll with the flow. Really, we don't really have a structure, right? But one thing though, Bear, I want to touch on the Flash staking. That seems pretty cool. High APR on that. Let's speak on that a bit.
Let me see if I can't find a graphic to share. So let me try one more thing here. Speakeasy. So if so they basically are changing the address of the vault from the demo one that they had us viewing. So I'm just trying to find the old one. And there's a chance I'll be able to find it pretty quickly here. So
Yeah, no problem, brother. I think I may have it pulled up as well here. Let me take a look here.
Okay.
7.5 minutes.
Yeah, that was not smart. How do I think I get this over here? Wish I could. I need to get it on my web browser. Okay, I know what to do. So like, what is this? Post image. Yeah, there we go. Choose an image. Oh shit, I uploaded a bunch of crap. Okay, all right. So you guys can, no, this is not it. I'm so dumb. What?
That must have been part of the mass upload there.
Right. So just, surely there's a freaking, all right. I mean, at one point, I'm not going to do this to you guys.
Yeah,
I'm really, yeah, sorry.
So, Bear, so we know that it's 1,000 APR, right? Can you speak on that a bit? 1,000 APR, which is crazy. So, can you go into the detail, like what, how long is the lockup, and what you have to do to get the 1,000 APR?
Yes. So, can you guys see this? So basically, it will look like this. There will be, people will be looking, there'll be a timer that's saying when it starts in, and it'll be counting down, right? And as soon as it hits 0, you're basically going to come in here and you're going to click lock, and you're going to lock the amount of SPEEZY that it lets you. So I believe if our supply was 10 billion, and now it's 10 million, you'll be able to lock 10,000 SPEEZY tokens. And you'll basically hit lock, you'll type in 10,000 SPEEZY tokens, and you'll do it. And then if you get in, you will or not. And there, down here on the right, it says round fill. That percentage is going to keep going up because the max that we'll be able to lock will be 10,000 times 69. So what is that? 690,000 tokens will be allowed to be locked. Yeah. So that many tokens will be, and as soon as that many tokens are locked, the round, it'll be over, and those people will all get 1,000% APR for 1 week. And then at the end of the week, they will be able to undo, they'll be able to take their money back out. And then in 1 day, there'll be another pool starting. So it's basically just a fun contest, and it's not sustainable. It can only run for 8 weeks, but it's just going to be a game that gets to be played every week, basically, like I said, for 8 weeks. And so, there won't be any, any other thing that they need to do that. And so, yep.
Okay, so you lock up your tokens, and you guys run it for the first 8 weeks only, correct?
Yeah, and if you have to get out early, you would lose 30%. But I mean, you shouldn't really be playing the game if you're not willing to do that. I mean, it's just, instead of just giving away tokens, because over 8 weeks we end up giving away 10% of the supply. But this just gives it, just another fun way to hype up the token for the first 8 weeks, because after 8 weeks, we're going to have such a strong betting community that the token will be kind of sustaining itself. But that just, just another fun thing that people can play with, just
right,
redistribute some of the wealth.
Right, but when you lock up the tokens there, do you lock up for a week or the whole
week,
8 weeks?
Just no, just 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it's flash staking, because it's very high APR, but for very short pools. So after a week, you won't be accumulating any more APR. You'll just be expected to withdraw your tokens.
Now, I just want to clarify the APR though. Barrett, you said 1,000% APR, right? That represents a year. But if we're doing it for 4 weeks, so that's 52 weeks, right? So we're looking like around 19%. Is that correct, or am I not doing the math correctly? So around 19%, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so around 19%, which is pretty good. So you're locking in for a week, you get around 20% back, more tokens of the SPEEZY tokens, and you guys do that for 8 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, and so they've kind of made us this custom portal because they just have like crazy dev that he can just do anything. And they wanted us to do, staking. And it was like, well, staking's not sustainable because we're not going to be replenishing the rewards pool. So we will just have this as just like kind of an extra bit of fun. It's like, hey, there's going to be people that are like, I don't want to stake, or like maybe they have so much. They're just like, yeah, I would take an extra, 2,000 SPEEZY basically, for free, by just loading up their 10. I mean, really just all, not really for any real good reason other than, who doesn't want, an extra 20%, in 1 week,
But like you said, right, if you're quick, right, and if you play it strategically, you guys do it for 8 weeks. So that's almost 100% of your back there, but you got to be fast. So, I mean.
Yeah, if you got in all 8 weeks, you would just double your bag in 2 months, which would be, that would be really winning. Because, if everybody locks the maximum, the 10,000, they'll only be able to get 69 people in. And it's funny enough, I didn't come up with the number 69 to be funny or those things. It just actually, if you take it over 8 weeks and you give 10% of the supply and you limit it to the 10,000, then it really just turns into the, 69 because it would be 690,000.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So 6.9% of the supply is the most that, because otherwise, 1,000. Yeah. If you doubled it, then you'd only last 4 weeks, and if you cut it in half, then it kind of takes, then you could go 16 weeks, but it wouldn't be as fun. But just so you know, if you see other people doing really high APRs and staking, like they're either minting tokens or they put a lot of the supply and it eventually will run out, But so we're just really upfront. Yeah, it's for 8 weeks. It's just 10% of the supply. It's just a really fun way to do a giveaway, and to keep people active.
Yeah, definitely. 20% in a week. I think that's a great incentive. But like you said, all these high APY, APR projects, forever, it just cannot sustain. So awesome, brother. I think we covered everything. Is there anything else you want to speak on, Bear, before we open up the room for questions?
No, I think he was good.
My Telegram crashed. Oh, the join messages aren't here. Uh-oh. Shit. Okay.
We hear you.
Yeah. Well, the join messages were turned off in the group, so I was expecting to look at the join messages to decide who won, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I know there was several people that jumped on like as soon as you gave that notification. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna let. I mean, no one else can join anymore. Okay. Well,
what we can do is we can always do it again. We can go. We can. I guess once they join already, you can't join again, huh?
Yeah, I'm basically just going to have whoever, I'm going to unmute the chat and just let whoever says it, I'll add them all to the competition. Anyone who does what do you want them to say? Like some crypto, USA Crypto sent me or at, yeah. So we can just do that towards the end. So I guess anybody who's in here, when I'll unmute it and then we'll let you guys, we'll do that. I don't want to that's going to take more effort now. So I'm going to wait a second and let us get questions and everything out of the way. So I guess, so make sure you're in there when I announce that, so then everyone can do it. And then I'll grab all the people and select a winner from that, and in addition to the BUSD that you guys are giving away. So without further wasting time, your time, that's flash staking. Any more thoughts on that?
No, I think that's pretty straightforward. 20% every week, and they run it for 8 weeks. So it's actually really good if you guys get in early. I think that's great.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Now let's open up for questions. Are you ready for that, Barrett, or is there something else you want to speak on?
Let me share my screen again if there's any questions relevant to that, and turn my video back in. That Google timer crashed my my thing. I guess I'll share that. We've got the cool merch. You guys should check. You should get the SPEEZY merch. That's pretty cool, right? Right.
Yeah.
See that on my video here?
Oh yeah, that's some nice merch. Open up that website. Let's check it out.
I don't know. Let's see. Merch. You guys know how it goes. You can, that's our mascot Spinny, but that's him. He's often getting drunk. So we've got Drunk Spinny T-shirt, which is a favorite. Otherwise, just some more generic things. So really, what I'm hyped about is the sweatshirt and the Drunk Spinny shirt. So you guys should check those things out. But
I love the blanket, man. The blanket's freaking money.
You got a blanket?
Hell yes, I do, man. The kids love it.
That's so awesome. Okay. Yeah. I swear there's. Let me message that to our merch people.
Was that porn?
No. It's just that the store is fucked up. It's through CryptoBots. So I don't want to. Yeah. Okay.
Now, when would that be ready, Barrett? And how do people go on about ordering those merchandise?
The store should be working. The Crypto Blast token is our sponsor kind of for it. It's one of their utilities, and I just messaged our contact there that, hey, it's not this link isn't working. So, obviously we're going to get that fixed. So it'll be working soon, but I'll have to make an update about that. But more just wanted to show off my cool sweatshirt. Nothing too crazy there, and basic things like the roadmap. I think the roadmap looks a lot better on the white paper, but pretty straightforward. It's probably going to say we're going to go to the moon and stuff like that. So I guess I'm just looking forward to adding the poker, and but really it's all about the betting. So I think it's definitely time to go to questions.
I have a special request from from a member. He said, "Hey man, we need beer koozies."
Beer koozies, all right. Drunk Spinny beer koozies.
Hell yes, man, that'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, let me share the sticker pack in the chat. You guys will like Drunk Spinny. He's pretty important. So stickers. Where is my Drunk Spinny at? This is just, I don't, sometimes it might be me, but yeah, we definitely have a team member that requested this because he's always, pretty drunk, and it's kind of funny. So there's Drunk Spinny. But yeah, definitely let's get to some questions.
All right, Drunk Spinny. Now beer is actually like around 30 minutes for me, maybe an hour for me. So I may have to go over there and get some merchandise myself.
Yeah, we'll have to order it still, but you come over and have a beer.
All right. With that said, Mike is going to come on. I know James has been answering a lot of questions in the room already. But Mike, go ahead and come on and let's take some questions.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to James, man. There's not much for me to ask here, brother. The one I just did see recently, where is it? seeing as you're relatively a new project in the crypto space, is there any opportunities open to the community where we could aid the growth of the project as well as earn while doing it, like ambassadorship, hunting for any bugs in the contract, doing testnet tests, beta testing, or airdrops?
Oh, yeah, too risky to share to let someone help with airdrops. As far as like testnet and beta testing and all that stuff, since we are launching, I imagine, it's going to be, whatever's in the contract is there, but I have done just an insane amount of testing on the testnet. Everything's been deployed. We simulated a launch on the mainnet. Testing has been just super important to me because there is just a lot that can go wrong with this. There's 6 different contracts interacting, like the super spin is a contract, the mega spin is a contract, bets is a contract, oversell is a contract that tracks people's 24-hour sells. Then there's the main contract, and then the B&B game. And then I guess if you wanted to call flash staking, but that's more something that's not on our side. We deposit those funds over with HedgePay. Ambassadorship, if the community wants to help, you guys can help shill. We have shilling contests here and there. We're going to do a lot of duck races too. And that's where, there's that website. You can load up like 100 ducks and put people's name on it. And so 5% of our tokenomics of our token distribution, I guess, goes to a giveaway wallet. So there's going to be opportunities to win tokens kind of all the time. And but yeah, we have plenty of admins and sort of things like that. I don't want to say no, but if people are active and stuff in the community, sometimes we'll, throw people money just for like being hype man and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Hype it up. Keep that thing rolling. Did you guys have a private sale? And if so, how much was raised and what were those funds used for?
So we had a version 1 token called Spin, where we just had the jackpots, and we had a rocky start because of just working out bugs in the contract of the jackpots. Then when we got everything completely worked out and perfect, we didn't have really any utility to go by, and we had that problem where, okay, well, our jackpots are much smaller than they used to be. And so basically we said, hey, we're going to wrap this up in a week. Anybody that wants to stay on board can just send your tokens over here, because we didn't want everybody to just all jump on each other and it goes to 0. So we held everybody, we let everybody stay involved. And then it took us probably a lot longer than we expected to get the betting DApp and website and everything just perfect and ready to go. And so they're actually getting then the market crash and all of these things. And essentially they're getting an airdrop of what their value was before. But the only way that they can get the full airdrop is if we launch at a similar market cap. So essentially we have to raise 221 BNB for them to get their full airdrop. And so that comes to about 22% of the supply. But if we raise more than 221 BNB, then I'll start burning from that. So for example, if we raise 1,000 BNB, let me pull up my graphic here, because this is that was a really good question. Obviously, Oh, okay. It's not in that one. It's right here. Okay, yeah. So if we raise 1,000 BNB, then I'm ending up burning about 14.71% of that airdrop. So then they're only getting 5.2% of the supply. So other ways that people do fair launches, like if you raise a lot, then like the private sale people, their token gets way inflated. And so that's like a big thing that people do that's kind of naughty in fair launches. And so we have a system where we're going to burn it if there's any excess. So no matter what, they can't get more than their original value was. But if we don't raise 221 BNB, let's say if we only raise 5 BNB, because I have a 5 BNB soft cap, that means they would only get 2.1% of their airdrop. which really sucks for them. But they understand, because that would make us start at a $5,000 market cap. And we all know that we're going to pump right back up to like, where it was when we left that off of that other token at $230,000 market cap. So yeah, I mean, it's bad, in some ways that's the only way that it's going to work, but we can't make it the responsibility of the people buying the pre-sale to bail out the V1 people, because of market conditions and all that. So we do have a whole sliding scale of it, so if we only raise 110 BNB, then they'll get 49% of their airdrop, so it's all pretty linear in between the 221 and that. So I hope that, yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect, Barrett. So like you were saying there, no matter what percentage that these guys get, whether it's 100 or 2%, like you said, if there's a remaining 98%, that'll get all burned, you said?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, so I just dropped the dynamic airdrop for V1 holders in the chat, so you guys can kind of see, like, there's burns if we don't make enough, and if we make too much, then there's also a burn, so we don't overvalue their tokens. So it's a really unique kind of fair system. So it kind of looks like this on the burn, or I guess it would look like this.
Okay, I like that.
It's really an amazing concept, and just so everyone is on a level playing field, because we don't want to, hinder the V2 buyers in the pre-sale and all that stuff. So it just makes everything even, So again, I mean, we're all about the community and the family. So I mean, we're all in this together.
Yeah. So I mean, if I see like any things towards anything pointing towards a low raise, then I'm gonna cash out other things and buy tokens or something, just because I'll have to, because you'd be getting such a good value because I know what it's worth. And also the airdrops is also 50% vested, so they get half before launch and then half in a week. So essentially there's plenty of time for, and these are also the people that had a week to sell and that chose to send their tokens to the deployer. And albeit, yeah, they probably thought we would be launching a lot sooner, but then obviously we had the market crash, and then, one of the devs had COVID, but I've been working basically daily on this project ever since then. That's actually been 8 months. And so it's just taken a lot of testing and back and forth with our two different devs to get everything just to the point where the contract is going to be flexible enough. We've added the, because we were able to really see what went wrong last time. We didn't have the anti-dump tokenomics. We did 8x when the first couple hours of launch, and, people were, taking massive profits, and we weren't, getting a fair share for it. The contract was selling on the way up because we had money going to our jackpots were in BNB, and now our jackpots are in the SPEEZY token. So it was having to convert to BNB to put in the jackpots. The first jackpot was 40 BNB, and basically, so we're just there's 40 BNB gone right away. And then the next jackpot started off with 0, and so we did have that issue where the jackpots were going down. So we learned so much, and then it was and where's the utility? And how long is it going to take to really push out a really good Web3 sports betting DApp? And it just would have just all the the good holders would have kept holding, and then their value would have just disintegrated. And so we just didn't think that was really fair, just to let I don't know, just the truth, So everybody decided hey, this is what we're going to do, and it just tells you a lot about the V1 people that they were really part of. We have a really tight knit community.
Yeah, I like that. V1 coming in, they're all willing to roll on into V2 here with all that trust in you guys. That shows a good commitment from the community and your strongest floor holders for sure.
Yeah, because we definitely needed to use that 60 BNB for the development that we had, from the liquidity. And so it was just really awesome that they wanted to fund V2. And so we're determined they definitely will get their value back.
Awesome. I love that. So talking on collaborations and partnerships, do you have any of those lined up or anything you're looking to line up?
Well, for example, we have, that we're playing with the idea of okay, on our weekly spin, we're going to be able to partner with, let's say, for example, maybe on our first weekly spin, we're partnering with Crypto Blast, which is an energy drink. They actually have a Crypto Blast energy drink that they sell on Amazon, but they're going to give us a bunch of tokens or maybe in a case of like energy drink or something, and whoever wins the spin, the big weekly spin will also get Crypto Blast tokens, and they'll also get a case of Crypto Blast energy drink, which will be pretty cool because, then they'll be like sponsoring the event. They'll be there. They'll just be like more hype, and so every week we kind of want to have a different token that, we're also kind of cross marketing with and like giving away their stuff to the winner, their stuff to our winner, so basically win for us, like we're getting free extra prizes, and win for them, we're advertising them for the week.
That's a nice little. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's about it.
Yeah. I'd say that's a nice little collaboration you got lined up there like that. That's something you really don't hear too often, where they'll actually send merchandise like that to the winners as well. That's pretty unique there. Yeah. Actually, I know Yuki. I'd like to call on you. I believe you had a question you wanted to ask on voice. Is that still a question you'd like to ask there, Yuki?
Well,
We can roll on back to you, Yuki. Go ahead, Chad Bear.
right. Thank you, Mike. Actually, I just have one concern. I have one question from Bart.
Yeah.
As far as I know, this project was supposed to launch last March. Can you explain or
That's true.
quick explanation what happened? And now you guys are back for a couple of months. What changes or adjustments that you have prepared to make it successful this time?
Well, so we were going to launch without having our betting DApp working. We had the contract and everything optimized to make it work, but we weren't going to have it live on the day of launch because, half the battle is like, the contract has to be working for it, because our old contract, if you transferred money to another DApp, then you would lose your credits in the jackpot. So we had to rewrite our main contract to allow for credit exclusions to certain wallets and certain tax rates for certain wallets, so that you could, bet freely between the, place your bets and not lose your credits. And then we wanted to add that. So we did have the anti-dump tokenomics and stuff, but we didn't have the betting DApp working. And we also launched on, I was determined to do the full airdrop for people. So we had to have 150 BNB soft cap. And, how people go with soft caps is that, if it doesn't look like you're going to hit your soft cap, then people stop putting money in because they don't want to have it held up for a couple of days. And then especially one of the biggest issues is we were launching on a launch pad called HedgePay. And HedgePay is the one doing our flash staking. Like, I have full trust in them. Like, they're awesome. Like, they're still doing launches, and they are as getting as, important and stuff as I thought they would be, after all this time. So I didn't have any issues, but a lot of other people were like, who is HedgePay? And I'm not going to connect my wallet to this. And so we had that issue. So I feel like we would, and then to be fair, also our dev kind of screwed us a little bit, and we had to delay. And so I did like an AMA with Caesar and an AMA with Golem, some pretty expensive AMAs. And that was like 3 weeks before the pre-sale. So that was another issue. But by the time we then did it, that's also when BNB and Bitcoin crashed. So we were launching, into a crash with somewhat marketing that somewhat expired, but then also that higher soft cap on an unknown platform without the betting DApp. So now we have 5 BNB soft cap launching on Gempad, which everybody knows and trusts. They've done, like hundreds of sales and stuff. Anything to avoid launching on Pink Sale, where, they're going to take, such high fees, and they're going to just dump our token on us because you have to pay them in tokens. And, they haven't done the most like ethical things. I mean, I don't have a huge problem with them. They paved the way, but Gempad is just a lot better for our holders and people moving forward. So yeah, great question. Very in depth, just a lot of things completely different. And this time we're guaranteed to launch, obviously, just because of 5 BNB soft cap. I know James Dean himself is going to buy more than that.
Easy. Don't tell them how much.
And I'm actually I was a community member, and you guys are always conducting a DApp race to keep the community alive. And this is actually work. It's actually work for the community to keep them alive. And congrats. You're going to take a different approach in terms of marketing. So I'm sure, I believe this actually going to be a successful bunch of project.
Yeah, we're really excited. Thank you. It's good to hear from a community member to, attest to. I just feel like, we really value everyone's opinion, and, we try our best. So thank you.
Appreciate that, Chad Bear. Does anybody else want to ask their questions on voice here? Please feel free to do so.
Yeah, I got a question. I actually got a statement. I actually found spin, you know what I'm saying, through a token that's no longer actually running. So that's the crazy part about this. So I'm one of those people that sent my tokens in. So I've been around for a while. And Barrett probably doesn't remember my voice right now, but he'll remember me if I send him to my DM. But I'm CTO at Champion, and we hold our daily competitions. We have our Telegram game bot that we got.
Right.
We also can advertise spin through our game bot. That's all. You already got a spot, so don't even worry about it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, hit me up and let's work on something this week.
Yep, definitely.
Cool. Well, I'm happy that we can finally get this going for you. And
I didn't see who asked that. Was that Katie Well? Appreciate that. That was Katie Well.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like the token that how I found them. It's no longer even service. It's crazy, man. And Barrett has been sticking around. You know what I'm saying? People were trying to rush him to launch. You know what I'm saying? He stuck to his guns, man. That's what I appreciate him, man. That's what I appreciate about him, man, for real. Because everything that's going on in the economy right now, so many of these projects have just given up, and he didn't. So that's really something to hold. That's really something. Whoever's in his voice chat, they really need to pay attention to what I'm saying right now. He had every reason he could have gave up, but look at all these tokens that hit all these market caps. We haven't even done anything yet. We're just getting started, guys. You know what I'm saying? Just bear with it. Just bear with it, man. For real.
Thank you. That's a man with good morals, and I can respect that. Go ahead, James.
I'll say that's a lot of love, man. I remember you. You're a great person, man. I respect you a lot, man. Thank you so much for coming through and speaking easy.
I like that. Speakeasy. All right, brother. Well, anybody else want to ask some questions on voice here? James has thoroughly answered everyone on the text, so appreciate that again, brother. I know Yuki wanted to ask earlier. Are you here, Yuki? That's okay. Before I kick it back to Seattle, does anybody else want to jump in on voice here? I know we had really good engagement and text questions here. Echo. All right, guys. Well,
it's up to Mike, but I mean, whatever you want to do. If you want to start that timer or whatever and get everyone all geared up to jump over and start that giveaway.
Well, real quick, I was just going to unmute our chat, and then I was going to say they can, say that at USA Crypto Group sent me, and then I will get a snapshot of that, and then I'll randomly, after this, I'm going to, randomly, I'll go on our voice chat and I'll put it in a spreadsheet or whatever, and I will share that. unless you guys want me to do that on here, but I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's getting kind of late for you, some of you guys, especially for Mike over on the East Coast.
Let's push around 9:30.
Yeah, so
go ahead,
so,
Seattle.
Vera, so what we usually do is that we send people over there every single AMA. We ask the developer if they want us to do that to raise awareness to your room. Apparently, you want us to do that. So we will do that for you. But I just want to clarify something. So we do get a price. So for the listeners right now, they do get $100 in the tokens. On top of that, you're going to give additional $50 for the people that join over there, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Then also, Mike is going to also do another $50 giveaway on the spin wheel over here as well. So we're going to go ahead and post that again. And are you working on opening up your room right now, Barrett?
Yeah, so I'm going to unmute it, and then they can start letting us know who's entering the contest, I guess. Just please, one entry per person. I mean, I probably, just to make it easier. I mean, I probably won't follow you for saying it twice, but it won't help you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we always tell the community. Just once is enough. No need to go over there and spam anything.
Well, that's cool that you guys do that, because, I mean, it's the first AMA. I haven't seen any other AMAs do that, and I'm just I was like, you know what, this time I'm going to, just sweeten up the pot here.
You know why, Barrett? Because a lot of the groups that actually bought it, they don't really have people in there. That just FYI on that. We actually have real people here. We set the bot portal since day one, just to make sure there's no bots in here. So, whatever you see in here is actually they're real people. So we're gonna go ahead and paste that right now, Johnny. If you can paste that and pin, and you guys go ahead and join their room and say USA Crypto Group send me.
What a great community, man. It was such an honor, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Meg, Mike, Seattle, all you guys, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, 100%. I really enjoyed this AMA tonight. It was really good. I will be sharing my screen in a minute to pop up a wheel here. Yeah, I think it might kick one of your screens out, though. Let's see here. To the wheel. Bam. Oh, good. They're all there. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to do one $25 winner. Actually, know what? Seattle, you said 50 off the wheel. Are we picking 2 off the wheel tonight, brother?
Yeah, I think let's do 50 here because Bear is going to give them $50 worth of tokens over there. And how do you want the $100 to be given away, Barrett?
I said that was in SPEEZY tokens too, right?
Right.
We could do. I could do two 50s to over. On is that what you're asking? Or how will I do that? I mean, I'll just send it to their wallet address after we launch.
Okay, yeah. So, Mike, I guess
we're gonna have to be launched before I do it. So I'll do it in the first 24 hours after launching.
Perfect. So, Mike, we do 2 drawings for the tokens and 2 25 drawings for the cash prize. And he will pick one winner over there in his room. And he's going to, I guess, text that or DM that person directly for the tokens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, perfect. So, picking 2 off the wheel for $50 and then 2 of us for $25 each. You still want to do the best question like we always do as well? There's actually quite a few questions, so I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, we're going to do another $25 there for a total of $75. All right, without holding anybody up a little bit longer here, let me get this shuffle up a couple of times. Boom. And we'll go for the tokens first here. Pick 2 for that.
So I just got a feedback. Do not put the @ sign over in their room, guys, or you guys will be banned or muted, something like that. Just put USA Crypto Group without the @ sign.
Thanks for that, Seattle. Yep. Banana Bun, when you sell $50 worth of tokens there, congratulations. Shuffle again. Whoop, whoop. Oh, man, that was right on the line. Glassjaw, an additional $50 winner for the SPEEZY tokens. Congratulations. And now we're going to grab two $25 winners for random attendees, which I bet 0.5 BNB Seattle will not win. Cal 42, $25 winner, man. Congratulations, brother. Got this last one here. Oh, Johnny, that was almost you. Dr.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Dr. Maxime, I hope I said that right. Congratulations on the last $25 winner off the wheel. And like I said, we'll also be Garrett will be picking one guy over in the Telegram over there, and I'll be sifting through all the questions and try to generalize and pick the best one for an additional $25 winner. What were you saying there, Seattle?
I gotta say, I'm reading off the room right now, and Z Conda, great guy. You know, he says, great AMA, like what I'm hearing from the team, and like the background they give on the V1. Most of the time, V1 talk makes people run away. You know, I'll tell you what, Barrett, and you have the guy there from your community came here and vouched for you. Like he said, most people would have ran already, right, and give up on the project. So I think for you to still here after months, you know, to be honest with you, I didn't know the history of it, but for you to still here, be here with us today doing AMA, and still have that commitment to your people since day one to now, man, that speaks volume about you as a person. Because in this space, as we know, it's so easy to run and just forget about everything and start a new coin, and you didn't do that. So I appreciate that a lot. And those are listening, I think that speaks volume. So you guys have to really dissect that. You would never see, I wouldn't say never see, but you know, you won't see that a lot in the space.
Yeah. So I guess, the only downside, I mean, is just that, we're all subject to the thing. You know, I had tokens too, because, I was buying, I didn't ever have them in the beginning, but I was buying tokens to win jackpots. Like I was like, nobody's buying today for this daily spin. And so I would buy in, and, it was actually working out for me, because I was like, I can't believe people aren't, taking a chance at some of these things. But yeah, since the contract wasn't going to be able to support the sports betting and stuff like that, we had to do the relaunch, but, we wouldn't have been able to fund it without V1, and either, and instead of them just kind of cannibalizing each other and stuff, it was just, everybody felt better this way. And yeah, it's interesting that, if we don't, with the way the market is now, normally I would say a token like this is guaranteed to raise, 221 BNB. But given market conditions and whatnot, it might end up being a little bit less, might be more. But I mean, if it is less, then by giving them less tokens, it's definitely, it doesn't feel as much like an obligation that's going to stop us from launching. So it'll, this way we can still launch no matter what. And we had to have a really creative solution to mitigate it. And I just haven't seen any other token do that. They just try to, they'll do a raise, and then they'll, launch with 5% liquidity. We're going to launch with 25% liquidity no matter what. And that's what's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the pre-sale again over in Jackpot tomorrow, correct? Barrett, is it tomorrow?
Yeah. It starts at 5 p.m. UTC, so that's 10 a.m. Pacific time, and it will go until it'll go from Thursday to Saturday, and so it'll end at Saturday, I think, at maybe 2 or 3 p.m. So just 2 days and 4 hours or something.
Right. So it's a fair launch, and they will launch at 5 BNB.
Yeah.
Myself, not financial advice, I will go in. I like you guys just for the fact that you guys are still here, sticking around, trying to make this work. But also looking at the website, you guys had also developed, a lot of things going on your website already. It's just not just a concept anymore, right? So I think for 5 BNB just to get it to launch, so I'll be watching it very closely, but I'll be definitely supporting the project.
Awesome. No, that's good to hear. Yeah. Just to point it out there, like WCI, World Cup Inu on Ethereum is coming out with a sports betting DApp that looks a lot like ours. And they've, I think their all-time high was like 45 million, and they don't even have the DApp. So the big meta right now on Ethereum is World Cup tokens. You know, even there's even like one that's like $1 million on BSC called like FIFA, and they have zero utility. They're literally just meme coins that are making a bunch of promises. And I know how difficult those promises are going to be to fulfill. And that's what's cool that we're launching with it. And so, you know, we're going to do a lot of World Cup marketing and really just take over that portion of the scene, you know, because it's like, hey, you like World Cup action? Do you want to actually come over and bet on it, or do you want to just pump a meme coin? Why don't you come over here, you know? And so just it actually just turned out to be a great timing for the launch, just because of the meta in the space right now. So just don't keep that in mind.
Awesome, man. Awesome, Barrett. Well, again, appreciate you guys being here at the USA Crypto Group. Appreciate everyone here showing up. See a lot of familiar faces to new faces today. And Mike, appreciate you, brother, like always. With that said, I think Mike probably needs to go to bed. His wife's probably yelling at him in the background, like always. I'm just messing.
Oh, Meg, she's right here.
Hello, wife.
Yeah. Hi, Seattle.
Hey, I gotta go to Boston and meet you guys one of these days.
Absolutely.
Oh man, it'll be lit, brother. It'll be lit. All of you guys are all welcome. The whole community, yeah. I love it.
Party. I appreciate the wife allowing you to spend a lot of time on here. You know, me too, even me. You know, we all spend a lot of time on here. It's just part of the crypto space, and our room grows so quick. You know, right now we're so like meeting after meetings today. We had like 3 meetings today, and on top of this AMA, and so it's been crazy for us. I'm not sure how Mike does it, because he does go to work as well. I do have, a couple business in real life, but I think my schedule is more flexible because I can stay up to 2 in the morning and work whenever I want. But I appreciate you, brother, and appreciate the wife for allowing you to do that as well.
100%. She wants to say one more thing, brother.
Seattle, I appreciate all of you and everything you guys are doing. I do have to say it's a long process of learning to have 2 separate jobs running at the same time. But you know what? It is so worth it. I love listening to all of you guys and all your great ideas. It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah, this is actually, I love doing this. This is like my passion. I love reading the white paper. I love dissecting it. I like to listen to different ideas. Yeah, just like you. I don't want to say wife. What is your wife's name? What is your name?
Go ahead,
my name's Ashley.
Ashley, great to meet you. Maybe next time you can host the AMA.
I would love to learn anytime. You want me to do something, you teach me.
I love it. All right.
I really like the graphic design stuff.
Yeah. She's more geared towards graphic design, so she might dabble with that a little bit. But not to keep you guys any bit longer. We could chat a little bit later. Barrett, James, I really appreciate you guys coming in with Speakeasy tonight, and that was a truly amazing AMA. I'll have everything uploaded to YouTube and posted and pinned here shortly, and get you guys all the copies. Thanks, bros.
Oh, sweet. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.